Hello and welcome to StudyIQ English. Imagine yourself being in a spot where you can't breathe. A thick cloud of smoke pollution is burning your eyes, you are struggling to breathe and living in a congested space. Now, this is what the critics are saying will soon happen to the planet if global warming and carbon emission is not stopped. And therefore, NASA is also being called out for its decision to be shutting off its Orbiting Carbon Observatory, the OCO. Among all other initiatives taken globally to stop the carbon emission, to stop the accumulation of greenhouse gases, one such great initiative has been from the NASA in the form of its OCO satellites. The purpose of these satellites, ever since they were launched, was to take images, high resolution images and videos of the carbon dioxide sinks across the planet. But today, as NASA says, we do not have enough funds to continue with this mission and these satellites will have to be removed. Will this create further problems for us on the planet? Will it further keep us in the dark forever as to exactly what is the level of pollution that you and I are living in? Just think of the air quality index of Delhi. Every year from October it starts and it only ends by end of February. Now people struggling to breathe and thousands of people having to take medical help just because you are breathing pure polluted air and that's it. So this is now making a big news as the Trump administration in another shocker from the US says that US budget has no proposal right now for financing the 2026 financial year objectives with regards to funding for the OCO satellites. Despite the important role these satellites are playing in climate monitoring by showing us through video exactly which regions of the world, which forests, which mountains are more polluted. It is giving us this great opportunity to work on climate control. But today, highlighting its budget priorities, NASA seems to be changing its plan and removing this from its agenda. So is it a dangerous thing for us? And what will be then the next alternative for us to know the reality of air pollution? Before that, it's important to understand for your UPSC exam, particularly GS paper 3, global warming, climate change and climate mitigation, a very important topic for the mains exam. What are the Orbiting Carbon Observatory satellites? These are a series of dedicated satellites which are created to identify atmospheric carbon dioxide deposition. Ultimately, its impact in the broader process of climate change. They are specifically created in the form of two versions, the OCO-2 and the OCO-3. Initially, when this satellite was launched, it was the OCO first satellite, but this mission was a failure. And therefore, another mission called OCO-2 was launched after that. The objective, what is the purpose behind this mission when it was launched? The purpose was to understand across the globe the exact working of carbon cycle, to see how many areas in the world today are experiencing a very high carbon concentration, to identify the sources, to analyze the risks, and to see which forests are playing an important role in carbon sequestration. So therefore, talking about the OCO-2 satellite, when it was launched in 2014, since then it had been providing us global measurements of carbon dioxide at high precision, very accurate level. Plus, great resolution, a complete global coverage. Also, it was talking about the regional carbon sinks in various areas of the planet. Like, for example, in this picture here, you can see how perfectly the OCO-2 has identified heavy amount of carbon dioxide formation and deposition in this area. This is looking orange in color in the satellite imagery. Also, recently, just few years back, the same OCO satellite also said that the entire Indian subcontinent region is covered with a thick orange layer. That was a high concentration of carbon dioxide itself. So this satellite also played a great role in measuring across winter, summer and monsoon season how does the CO2 level fluctuate from one few months to another set of few months across 1 year. But then talking about the more recent upgradation, this is the 2019 OCO-3. The latest version of this successful satellite was launched to provide further more complex data on carbon oxide deposition. It was also created to support other Earth equipments which were there to observe Earth from the space, from the certain altitude area, from where we could identify exactly the ocean and the lands which are living under thick carbon dioxide and greenhouse gas cover. So the purpose and why was the OCO-3 so different? Because the purpose was to not only investigate about distribution, the geographical distribution of carbon dioxide, but also to see how are urban populations more impacted by carbon dioxide deposition due to vehicle pollution, due to high level of fossil fuel burning. So all this was also mapped by OCO-3. Now when we talk about why was the data of this OCO satellite imagery important to us and how has it been utilized in the past, then let's see that these satellites were detecting carbon dioxide levels and carbon dioxide sinks, the carbon sinks across the world. Very recently they revealed that Amazon rainforest, which is almost often equated to be the lung of our equator, given the dense tropical forest of this region in the area of South America. But according to the imagery captured by the OCO high resolution satellite, it is the same Amazon rainforest which today is emitting more carbon dioxide than the amount of carbon dioxide it is absorbing. So its role in carbon sequestration has become very, very less right now. Obviously, due to palm oil harvesting, due to constant deforestation and urbanization. Similarly, the imagery also told us how the Boreal Forest in Canada and Russia, as you can see in this map here, various boreal forests in the area of Canada and in the area of Russia, in the area of Alaska. All these places we witnessed unexpected level of carbon sinking, which means that these were the areas which unexpectedly were functioning as carbon sinks for us. So the satellite not only gives you the image regarding carbon dioxide emission, deposition, distribution, but also it talks about in detail the process of photosynthesis. By tracking that, it enables us to understand the impact consequence of water scarcity, drought, or flooding, the possible food shortages in future, the impact on agriculture belts of the world, and also to see how the vulnerable island territories are facing the extent of the fear of extinction owing to the constant rise in ocean water because of glacial melting. So now the data supports not only a better investigation in climate, but also supports us in creating a perfect environmental policy. So with this in news, let's quickly have a look at one UPSC 2021 question, which says, what is blue carbon? Direct easy question. Answer, you need to pick out from the options given below and then post it in the comment box. The first option says carbon captured by oceans and coastal ecosystems. B, carbon sequestered in forest biomass and agriculture soil. Is it C, carbon contained in petroleum and natural gas? Or would D be the valid answer, carbon present in the atmosphere? And now with this, I take your leave. But before that, do remember that Study IQ biggest season sale is here. You will get up to 47% discount on any course you choose to enroll into. So do not miss the opportunity and immediately enroll in the best suitable course for you. Call on the helpline for better guidance and mentorship. Like, subscribe and share the channel. All the best.